Camila Kibeho reveals her emotional new album.
Kylie's boyfriend is arrested for inciting a riot.
And Harry Styles covers Kanye West.
All that and more on today's Rundown.
What's up? It has been a minute, you guys. We're so happy to be back.
Yes.
And I'm actually really excited today because Taylor Swift kind of came out of hiding for a moment to do something really nice for a fan, and that's coming up later.
But first, our boy Cole Sprouse. God
He's
bless his
so
heart.
hot.
Yeah, he is photographing none other than Kendall Jenner. Riverdale's Cole Sprouse is not only an actor, but he's actually also a very talented photographer. In Kendall Jenner's first shoot since her Pepsi ad, Cole photographed her for a Sunday Times cover story that was titled Kendall Jenner in Summer's Most Romantic Fashion. These shots are stunning. Kendall is posing in floral gowns out in nature, and Cole has already teased the incredible spread on his Instagram. Cole told the Sunday Times she knew my work and we had met at a couple of parties. I just thought, let's aim for the top. Kendall isn't afraid to look awkward in a way that's vulnerable and inherently interesting. So I've always had this idea that Cole Sprouse was like this very mysterious.
He looks it.
Right?
He's so like sexy and yeah.
And his Instagram is not very like personal, it's very professional.
Right.
And between Sweet Life and now him like blowing up again on Riverdale, he's really embraced this like creative, artsy photographer field, and
Yeah.
I think he's incredible at it. These pictures are stunning. Like these look like he could photograph for Vogue.
I mean, I would have never known, had I not known it was him,
Yeah.
that it wasn't someone who was photographing
Yeah.
for Vogue. Also, I love that he said that Kendall Jenner embraces her awkwardness, because I think one of the biggest parts about modeling, as if I know, but word on the street is the more awkward you are, the better you look in photos.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I think that's such a great motto for life. The more awkward you are,
Yeah.
the better you look in life.
Cole also had himself a mini The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody reunion. Speaking of, he reunited with Ashley Tisdale for a selfie this
So
weekend
cute.
while attending Debbie Ryan's birthday party in LA. The sweet picture even found its way to Ashley's Instagram story where she documented the highlights of the evening.
Well, in other news, Camila Kibeho is announcing her first solo album, and she's teasing the first single off of that album. I am so freaking excited. So Sunday night, Camila finally announced the debut album. It's coming, and she says it's also emotional. In a lengthy Twitter post, she revealed that the album will be called The Hurting, The Healing, The Loving. She wrote to her fans, "The hurting, the healing, the loving is the story of my journey from darkness into light, from a time when I was lost to a time when I found myself again." The story behind the album starts with the second song that you'll hear called I Have Questions, which I started writing in a hotel bathroom on tour a little over a year ago. And the exciting news is that single is going to be released on Friday, so we don't have to wait too long before we hear it. But she said that when she wrote the song, she was in this really broken down place. She says she was scared to write about what she was going through at the time, but then that was all she could write about because that was on her mind. She penned the sad song every day until she couldn't do it anymore. But eventually the songs do get happier on the album, which I think is the reason why she had this arc in the title, that it's not all brokenness, it's not all happiness. Life is a journey, and this album will also be a journey. And I fully expect to hear some songs that came out of that time of her leaving Fifth Harmony. I'm really curious to see if she writes about that experience specifically or not.
I mean, I think that she doesn't have to be very literal about it, but there has to be some like healing that had to come after leaving that group.
Yeah.
And the fact that she's very honest about when she wrote I Have Questions in a hotel bathroom on tour. You know, she talks about like having to find herself again. We've heard her say it in multiple interviews. Like she wasn't happy. You know, people have so much to say about her leaving the group, but at the end of the day, she is being honest and saying like she wasn't happy when she was like in that group, especially towards the end. Like she just didn't feel like herself, and I think that we're gonna get a very honest take on that experience on her albums. I hope that it helps people to understand a little bit, because I know that there are fans that are just sad. They're sad to not see
Her
them
with the
together
girls.
anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I hope that that would bring some understanding for her fans too, and like, these are the decisions I made, and this is why.
Speaking of figuring out who you are through some broken times, I actually have a new docu-series that's coming on Clevver Style. Sinead knows about it. She's seen most of the episodes already. But it's airing today, Wednesday, Friday, and Monday, Wednesday of next week. It's called It Got Real. And I was documented with fibroids, which are tumors in your uterus. They're benign, but I was suffering in a lot of pain for a long time. And so I came to Clevver and I asked them if they would let me tell this story, because 70% of all women will have them. And I begged them to let me tell this story so that I could encourage you guys who might be going through something similar, who have friends or family who might be going through something similar. So it's really a special project to me, and it airs today on Clevver Style. So I really hope you head over there and check it out, because it's quite a passion project of mine, and I hope it helps people.
You guys gotta check this out. The footage is so real. You did an incredible job telling the story.
Yeah.
None of this is not good information. Just to know.
Yeah.
Like, just for everyone to know. It's crazy. 70%, that number is terrifying.
And I didn't know that I had them because, you guys, I didn't go to the doctor for 4 years. I didn't go to the OBGYN, which is not okay. So I hope this also encourages you guys to take your health into your own hands. Go to your doctor if you think something's wrong. Ask questions, do some research. Don't sit back and live in pain like I did for way too long.
All right, well, moving on to some Kylie Jenner news. Her boyfriend, Travis Scott, boyfriend, right? He's in trouble. You guys, there's no easy way to say it. He's in trouble. Kylie Jenner's alleged new boyfriend, Travis Scott, was arrested right after his concert on Saturday for inciting a riot during his show in Arkansas. TMZ confirmed that cops had hauled him away after he allegedly incited a riot. So law enforcement sources did say that happened. He also endangered welfare of a minor, and he was charged with disorderly conduct. But you guys gotta let us know if you think that this is a riot. Check out this footage. Okay, so basically, he was encouraging people to rush the stage, which this isn't the first time I've heard things like this happening and artists getting in trouble for this, because it does become an issue of security, and safety. Biggest thing is because if you're asking people to run, right, it's kind of like starting like a mosh pit, if you will.
Yeah.
And in their terms, like, riot sounds a little ridiculous, but in a way, people are already cheering, jumping up and down, so I can kind of see the connection. Either way, like, if you have a packed show, like, why are you asking people to do that, dude?
Yeah. Well, people are likely drinking. Some of them may be even on drugs. Like, you have crowds and crowds of people that you know nothing about their situation. And when you start asking these crowds of people to do things like that, you just don't know what's gonna happen.
Right.
There's anything could happen. So you wanna encourage people to be as calm but also excited as possible in their own space.
Yeah, and since he's been seen with Kylie Jenner so much recently too, like, you have to remember that her fans too are showing up to these shows with hopes of seeing her or just like getting to know her more now that they think she might be dating this guy. And obviously there's something going on between the two of them. We don't know what, but you're getting a lot of maybe younger people
extra attention.
So just you know, be smart.
I feel like an arrest will be a nice reminder to you in the future to not do such a thing.
Yeah.
Well, Taylor Swift, she's tucked away somewhere in Nashville, we think, hopefully writing this new album that we've desperately been wanting forever. But you guys, she did resurface recently to do something really special for a fan. So this girl's name is Ashley, and apparently she was throwing a party and wanted to invite Taylor Swift. She attends the University of Central Florida, and she invited T-Swizzle to her graduation party. Well, Taylor could make it because she's probably busy writing that album that I was talking about. So she sent Ashley a congratulatory gift instead. She sent her a huge bouquet of flowers and a handwritten card. And then she posted a photo on Twitter saying, "I invited Taylor to my graduation party and she sent me flowers. And this card, I love you, honey." And then she posted on Instagram later with the gift saying, "Real life is a funny thing. Thank you, Taylor Swift, for the gorgeous flowers, beautiful card, and 8 years of amazing memories. Love you." But on the handwritten note, she drew a New York skyline and she wrote, "Ashley, hi love, I'm so sad that I can't make it to your graduation party. The New York theme, the photo booth, it being on the 13th, that's my kind of party." Then she ended the letter by praising Ashley's graduation accomplishment, her dedication, and her ambition. My question was, well, how do I get Taylor Swift to notice me? I'm pretty sure she does notice me because I tweet her all the time and I don't think she likes it.
This kind of makes me sad because I feel like Ashley was very lucky. But I wonder how many people write to celebrities every day. And then things like this happened to Ashley. And I'm so happy for Ashley because she clearly like pulled out all the stops to get, you know, Taylor Swift to hopefully come to her graduation party. And she sounds like she really genuinely loves and she's a really big fan of Taylor, so that's great. But it just makes me sad. Like,
well, she apparently emailed Taylor on the website,
and sent it to her headquarters.
The headquarters. So
there you go, you guys.
There's the formula, and maybe you can be as lucky as Ashley, but we're not.
Well, Harry Styles has also been extremely busy lately. He's obviously embracing his new solo career, but he is hinting at a One Direction reunion, and he just got real candid about his sexuality. Harry Styles had a long chat with Bizarre Columns' Dan Wooten. He spoke about his time in One Direction yet again, but this time he said, "The thing that I'm happiest about is that I didn't leave there in a place of, I feel so suppressed. I never felt like I was faking it. I really enjoyed it. It's the best thing that ever happened to me." And then Harry made fans' dreams all around the world come true when he talked about a possible One Direction reunion, saying, "It's something I would never rule out doing. Right now, everyone's getting a chance to explore things they want to try, and it's really cool to see what they're coming up with when it's just them in a studio writing." All right, so at least we know maybe, you know, a One Direction reunion is possible.
I can't help but think if this is like a subtle dig at Zayn, though, because he's saying that he never was faking it, that he like loved One Direction, and we all know that Zayn felt like a lot of anxiety in the group and did not ever feel like himself in the group. So it's interesting. Either I don't think it's shade, but I think that he's definitely trying to draw a line in the sand to say, don't get me twisted for Zayn. Like I love that experience. Zayn is very different from me.
It's so true. You're 100% right, because every interview that we've heard from Zayn versus the interviews that we've heard from Harry, it's like black
very
and
different
white,
stories,
hot and cold.
To each their own.
And then the conversation turned to sexuality and pop music, and Dan kind of used Miley Cyrus as an example because she speaks very openly about her sexuality. So Harry said, "Being in a creative field, it's important to be progressive. People doing stuff like that is great. But don't get it twisted, you guys. Harry is definitely not labeling his own sexuality. He said, I've never felt the need to, really, no." So I kind of feel like this, in part, has to do with some of the Larry rumors. And back in the day, about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a huge rumor in the press that Harry Styles was not straight, to put it bluntly. And I think that he was just so fascinated that people were so involved. He never really talked about it, which I think is even greater than being like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true. He just didn't ever. He
didn't feel the need to, because he didn't really, I don't think that was ever true. But I like that he's not labeling it right now, because if he did, I don't know, I feel like that's all people would talk about.
Totally.
You know, so I think he really wants to talk about his music and not his sexuality.
Yeah. Plus, he's also like dating that chef, Tess Ward, I think is her name.
Yeah, she's so cute.
She's so cute. And like, why talk about these things when you are in a relationship?
And
like,
you already know, and all of us know the answer.
Yeah. All right, guys, so before we sign off, I feel like it was a really long show today.
Long show. It's taking us a little time to get back into the swing of things, I think.
And who knew Mother's Day, you know, weekend would be so crazy. Very rough for us
and celebrities.
Yeah. All right, you guys, I need to know what you think of that footage. Is this a riot or not?
Let us know in the comments. Also, you guys, definitely check out the show. Again, it's on Clevver Style. It's called It Got Real. And it launches the first episode today. Yay. I'm really excited about it. So thanks,
guys. Make
guys.
sure you like retweet and share it and get the word out, for sure.
I think she loves me a little bit or something. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out. We will be back here tomorrow. For more, click left to see Gigi Hadid reveal where Taylor Swift is right now.
Or click to the right to watch the very first episode of Erin's journey on It Got Real.